These stories are inspired by the actual case files of the Office of Scientific Investigation and Research.
Move! What's with the hardware? Elsinger, he wants security beefed up on this one. Good.
Team, spread out!
Leon! Leon! Where's your buddy? He said he'd be here.
All clear here!
Maybe this isn't the main office. Maybe.
Sector 1 secure.
Ray, this way.
Dr. Leon Schrapp!
See if you can find some lights.
Yeah. What the hell is that?
You tell me. When your friend called, what exactly did he say?
Oh, not much. He said this is the big one.
Investigating the paranormal calls for objective, technical, and scientific expertise, a sharp intuition, and an abundance of patience. But even with all its resources, the Office of Scientific Investigation and Research is often severely challenged by radically unconventional events.
We're looking for Dr. Leon Schrapp, 45 years old, about 5'9". Go. Ray, how many more men can you spare?
None.
I don't care. Pull them off security. We need bodies for the search.
I'll need clearance.
Are the environmentals coming?
Hey, just a sec, Matt. Ray, this is on my authority.
Ray, it's Prager. Execute standard search pattern.
Done.
We gotta move quickly.
We are. I take it Schrapp's a friend of yours?
MIT taught me everything I know.
I think you picked up one or two things on your own since. If he's here, Ray will find them. Yeah. Tell me about this.
It seems to contain and control raw masses of power.
Electrical or nuclear?
I don't know. Nominal radiation traces, no heat signatures. No obvious source of power.
Strange structure. I wonder what all those symbols mean.
You hear that?
Hear what?
Sound.
Pete! The line's meant as a warning.
I want to examine it more closely.
No.
You're really starting to play it safe
Ever since what?
Hello, Matthew. If you're watching this, I must be dead. I always thought I could get around that, but apparently I was mistaken. And since I am, Matthew, why won't you answer my calls? I'm hanging in the wind here. What do I have to do for you to take me seriously? Listen, you've heard of P.T. Barnum's Dime Museum? 5-story sideshow filled with scientific anomalies. Tom Thumb, the dog-faced boy, deformities, floating in formaldehyde, and all for a dime. The proof.
You're gonna wear that CD out, Matt.
Where'd they get this footage? It's from OSIR archives.
Now, throughout the museum, there are signs that read, "This way to the Egress." This way to the Egress? Oh, so you follow the signs, right? And at last, you pass through a door and find yourself back on the street. Egress. That's just a fancy word for exit. Well, we all find our own way off the stage.
I hate that part.
You know what that arch looks like to me? A doorway. An exit.
An egress?
Kelly was warning me. Only I didn't want to listen.
I'm telling you, it's the Argentine thing all over again.
I don't know, Anton.
What about the pulsations?
It's not the same thing.
Are you care to bring me into the loop?
When fully activated, the mass inside the arch resembles an anomaly that Rollins and Anton and I investigated in Argentina about 2 years ago. It blocked out light and some electrical impulses, but not sound or air. We called it the Argentine darkness.
Oh, was Schraff trying to recreate that?
I spoke to Schraff's wife today. She thinks he's lecturing in Berlin. You should call her.
What am I going to tell her?
Lindsay, you're with me. Give me some hard answers. Once we understand that thing out there, then maybe we'll find your friend. Still coffee in this cup. It's full.
This research complex was headed up by Schraft. At least 3 other Nobel laureates were involved.
Who's paying for all this?
Apparently Schraft, but I don't know where he got the money. One other background note on Schraft?
Uh-huh.
He was a proven remote viewer. He could project his mind 10,000 clicks and spot a handkerchief in a football field.
Neat bar trick. Can't wait to meet him. And his missing elves. High-level research and not a computer in sight, not even an abacus.
Someone cleaned out all the research before we arrived.
They knew we were coming. Axon got Schraff's Mayday at Central Lab, and Kelly phoned me right before he died, all on secure lines.
You think there's a leak in the OSIR?
Yeah.
Matt, finished the perimeter search. Nothing so far. We're starting on the interior buildings now.
I want no contact with Central Lab or Elsinger on this detail.
Yeah, done.
Okay, you ready?
Almost. You didn't find the electric eyes?
No, and no weight triggering mechanism on the floor.
Okay, there we go. All set.
Okay, give it some heat.
get that on tape?
Got it. Whatever it was.
Good. To hell with this.
Hey! Stop! I found this one in the basement cafeteria having a latte.
Where's Dr. Leon Schraft? Are you part of this research project? And what the hell does that thing do? Damn it, where's Leon?
Whoa, Pete, give him a chance.
He's gone.
Gone where?
I don't know. Look, I need your help.
Figures. This area was next on our search.
Yeah, you always find something in the last place you look.
Speak for yourself.
What do you mean?
In there.
I'll go get a mop and Claire in that order.
I tried to stop them. I really did. I mean, I tried to stop them.
Name's Bram Page. He's a quantum mechanics guy. Excuse me.
I prefer a fully equipped morgue.
Don't we all?
Central Lab is only 10 minutes away.
I'll make do. I want everything done on site.
Subject is white male, 35. Lower torso and legs still to be recovered.
How is an experiment this radical set up only 9 miles from Central Lab?
Right under Elsinger's nose.
Severe trauma. Not unlike the results of being severed under the metal wheels of a train.
Damage is so extensive.
As for cause of death, I'm betting on severe shock. I've got no idea what chopped him in thirds, though. Okay, gentlemen. I'm opening them up.
You'd think Axon would have bumped into one of his physicist friends, get together for a little quantum theory or whatever they do. You okay?
Yeah.
Did you know they were out here?
Not until Leon called me today. We'd kind of fallen out of touch. Anton says the first stage of grief is denial. I say to that, Leon can't be dead. There's no body. Where are you at in the process?
About Kelly? Anger, I guess.
Yeah, I hear you. Anyway, you should have a look at this. Radar clocked the ball hitting the arch at 168 miles an hour.
Hell of a slider.
Yeah. And you see the moment of impact? The image of the baseball distorts, it bends.
What could cause that?
Gravity. But there seems to be different fields. It's especially strong directly underneath the arch. And have a look at the trajectory of the ball. It resembles the path of a meteor when it hits the Earth's gravitational field, or the way light bends when it hits a gravity pool of a star. I mean, it's an amazing feat of physics.
I told you, I was only here for a few days, all right? Mostly I was just getting coffee.
What were they researching?
They were trying to find a new subatomic particle, something even smaller than a quark.
Really? Without a particle accelerator?
I guess so.
Weren't you involved in the research?
No, look, I'm just an intern, all right? They give us all the scut work. I mean, I've been to the warehouse one time, maybe twice. I had some paperwork. Dr. Schraft, but he was angry with me.
What are you doing here? You should be in your office.
More and more, they spent their time in the warehouse. I knew Dr. Schraff was upset. I knew he was scared, but I didn't know how scared.
No, I can't.
Then he was on the phone. He was talking to some guy named Peter.
This is it, Peter.
About the big one.
This is it. The big one.
Dr. Page and the others were in the warehouse.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Dr. Page kept talking about these sounds, and then... Wait! Stop! Let me go! I tried to stop him. And he kind of shuddered, you know? So I ran back to Dr. Strass's office, only he wasn't there. Just, there was all these people there.
Who were they?
I don't know. I just know that they knew what they were looking for.
Where did Dr. Schraff go? Did he go in the arch? Did they take him away with them?
I don't know. Maybe he got sucked into the arch. I mean, you know, maybe they took him like they took everything else. I really don't know. For some reason, I knew I didn't want them to find me.
"16 men and women just disappear."
Without a trace.
Personally, I don't think he knew what they were working on.
Yeah, perhaps that's why he's still alive. He's frightened. And not just of the arch.
Well, when Lindsay's done with him, have the security boys keep him here.
I could use him on site.
No, it's too risky.
Matt, he's seen the phenomenon in action.
I'm sorry. Did I miss the election? No means no further discussion, no end runs, and especially no calls to Helsinger.
Like you said, no further discussion.
Well, you certainly told him.
Anton, don't you start.
Look, take a breath. Look at things from another perspective, okay? It's perfectly normal to be on edge when somebody close to you dies.
This has nothing to do with Kelly.
Okay, all right. Just be sure you're making decisions for the right reason.
I always do. All right, I hear you.
Look, you might be right about one decision. I wouldn't tell Elsinger everything you know. He and Kelly were not exactly close.
He knows something about Kelly's murder.
Yeah, well, he knows something about a lot of things.
They all just stepped into that. Could it be some sort of cult behavior?
It's so compelling. The way the boy described the disappearance of those scientists. I can't help thinking of Catherine and Nicole. They were my family. And they disappeared. If only we could see what the scientists saw on the other side, maybe.
What?
You know, you could be right. Maybe it is an exit. Or some kind of entrance.
Don't do that.
Here's the pouch you sealed for Central Lab. It can't go anywhere until Prager gives his word.
Look, this has got to go out before the tissues deteriorate. I can't do the full spectrum of toxicology tests here.
Yeah. Like he drank himself to death.
A bill for photocopy paper. A memo on keeping the lunchroom clean. What have you got? Anything?
No. Memo to staff. After work on Thursday, there'll be cake for Cynthia's birthday. It's dated 8 weeks ago. Signed Bram Page, PhD.
Action! Peter?
I said to keep your distance.
Matt, it didn't affect me.
You will not go back in there.
How am I supposed to determine what it is if I'm not on site?
Peter, why don't you let Anton take a look at you? See if there's any residual effects.
Yeah, sure.
Ray's pulled all support personnel. Only department heads and yourself will have access.
I'm having a hard time believing that Leon could have created something so dangerous. It's not like him. He inspired me. He was always looking for the physicist's holy grail.
Tenure?
Smallest particle of matter possible. Beginning of all things. Where the infinitesimal meets the infinite. You understand that? You understand everything from the Big Bang on.
It's like looking into the moment of creation. Into the eyes of God himself. Peter, what did you see in there?
I saw a light. A tunnel. Faces of people that I've known that have gone away. And I think I saw Leon. And I think he's dead. I saw into the afterlife.
What if Shraft was here as a remote viewer? To track where the arch led?
Or maybe he was here to use his mental ability to initially trigger the device. He was here as a on-off switch.
I've got a problem. Have a look at this.
The top stories of today, Dr. Brahm Page, Nobelist in physics, has died at the age of 35. His co-Nobel Prize winner, Dr. Leon Shraft, is also reported as missing and presumed dead. Families of both men have refused comment. Leaders of the G7 meeting...
I don't know how that got out, but I'm gonna find out. Maybe Mrs. Shraft.
No. When I spoke with her, I still thought Shraft was alive, and I never mentioned Page.
Okay. No one's transmitted anything to Central Lab since we found Page, so the leak must be within the team. Thanks for keeping me in the loop.
Anton, no!
Anton! Get out of there!
The orange juice on the table. Breakfast should be ready any time.
I miss you so much.
Catherine! Nicole!
Darling, I've been waiting for you.
I've always felt that.
I knew you never gave up hope.
Daddy, it's cold in here.
I'll be right there.
Why are you so late?
Don't worry.
Daddy, help us.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Anton! Anton, wait!
He always told me to be sure and carry out an autopsy. He wanted someone to learn from his death. Well, that's one last wish I won't be able to carry out.
We operate on the assumption that Anton is still alive.
It's being unrealistic.
So I live in a fantasy. We find out where the arch leads.
If It leads nowhere.
Look, on the tape, Anton was calling out for his wife and daughter. So the arch reflects the desires of the viewer and draws them in.
The only thing worth discussing is finding Anton. Now, did his comlink have the infrared backup transmission system?
Yeah?
Don't look so surprised. I helped design the damn things. Now, see if you can pick up the signal.
All right. Okay, well, that could just be interference from the arch. Just wait. It's steady. I got it. Good. The comlink's in there. Wherever there is.
Someone painted a line around the arch for a reason.
What the hell's going on?
I don't know, and it's really starting to bug me.
I told her everything.
Why did you paint the line?
So nobody else will get hurt.
You remember Cynthia's birthday? Memo to staff, Cynthia's birthday. What do you know? Your name is on the list. Was the cake chocolate or vanilla?
You said you'd only been here a week. According to the memo, you've been here for at least 2 months.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who came for the data?
Who did you call?
Those people died.
What went wrong?
Oh, I think you know, Frank.
Maybe I should leave. No, there's no need. I think there's some sort of misunderstanding here. You two haven't been introduced. Curtis Rollins, Matthew Prager. I often forget how rarely our case managers have the opportunity to work together.
What is this?
The data will be completely corrupted. It's over. You might as well tell them.
Matthew, we funded and supervised the Shraft research.
This was an OSIR operation from the start. After everything went south, my team cleaned out the computers and the data. We're still plowing through it.
Your team was sent in blind so that you could study the Egress objectively.
You may have cost Anton his life.
No, I left an operative on site to ensure that security concerns were met.
Oh, the intern, of course. Well, be sure to note Anton's disappearance on his next performance review.
Hendricks and I have been colleagues for many years. I share your concerns.
Lies!
Are you finished?
I should have listened to Kelly.
And what did Kelly have to say?
Nothing worth his life, Frank! I want all the resources Central Lab can bring to reverse the arch. I want access to the OSIR mainframe and the best people to back Axon up.
You need Dr. Shraft. Well, Dr. Shraft isn't dead. He's just uncooperative.
I want him.
You can have him. He's no use to us now.
And his data, Frank.
When we're done with it. What are you gonna do? You gonna throw me down the stairs and beat me? Don't you want to retrieve our friend Hendricks? Perhaps you can persuade Dr. Shraft to help.
Here we go.
Dr. Shraft?
Office hours are on the door.
Peter's worried about you.
Oh, good. If he turns his assignment in late, I'll fail his ass.
What are you doing?
Accounts. Settling accounts. Now, any questions about your marks, you talk to your TA.
How much of the shtick is for real, Leon? lost a friend in your machine.
I lost a dozen.
I want him back.
There's no coming back. He could be standing at the start of all creation. Reduced to pure energy, dust dancing in the wind.
We've established a link with an infrared signal from inside the arch.
Oh, no. That's not possible.
It's constant and verified.
What do you want from me?
I think you can use your remote viewing to get further inside the arch. There's something there.
I've done some horrible things, Peter.
You know, you don't have to do this, Leon.
I just want to see if I can help.
I'll be right back. Matt, let's forget about everything that's gone between us, all right? You gotta listen to me. This is a mistake. We don't know what could happen if he goes into that arch.
Who's playing safe now? Anything else we should know about Pete?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Vitals, blood pressure, body temperature all rising.
I'm in. Just like that. I'm seeing swirls. Gold, silver, deep blue. Like strings.
That sounds like the surface.
No. I'm in the arch.
You see anyone?
When you look at the strings, they're really like pearls.
He's describing matter in descending order of magnitude, chemical compositions, and then molecules.
Body temperature's at 101.
Then the balls give way to clouds. Thin, wispy.
Electron clouds?
102.
What do you see?
104.
The arch. It leads nowhere and everywhere. I don't want to go there. No one should.
Leon! Leon! Leon!
Leon's had some sort of psychological break. He seems to have just turned himself off. His wife's on her way here. She wants to know how her husband's doing, and I thought you'd like to explain that to her yourself.
I'm sorry.
You should be. You talked him into coming here and going into that thing.
You revealed our location to her.
She needs to see her husband. Since when did you become such a stickler for protocol?
Always. Always. Ever since I started on the team, I've always felt 2 steps behind. Information was always being leaked. Someone always knew more than I did.
Oh, I see where this is heading.
I bet you do. You take Schraff's call and Anton disappears. You take Kelly's call and he turns up murdered.
Right.
How could you do this?
How could you?
It wasn't Peter. I was the leak.
Lindsay, I trusted you.
Not enough to listen. You were always distracted with some political thing. You could never see the big picture.
I think the big picture is that you and I worked together for nearly a year, and I never knew what you were.
The decisions that I've made have been very difficult. I couldn't take the secrets anymore, Matt. So I released information that I thought people should know. Genetic experiments, illegal medical testing, the development of biological weapons. Elsinger has been running things like Barnum's Dime Museum. He's keeping scientific breakthroughs and oddities for future profit. You never met Connor Doyle, our old case manager. You would have liked him. They killed him, Matt. They put him at risk, and they did not care what happened to him. And the information that he gathered was never released. He died for nothing.
What about Kelly? How did he die? Who killed him?
I have nothing more to say.
I am gonna find out. With or without you.
No residual heat, radiation, or electromagnetic charges. It's completely dormant.
There must be some way to get it back up and running.
Not as far as I know.
And what about the Hendrix tapes? I know this started off as simple physics, but what if this really is a portal to the other side?
But Shraft is still alive.
And what about Hendrix? Do I have a soul? Or when I die, do I simply stop like a tin toy? Don't you want to find out?
We'll keep looking.
I'm sure you will.
Any news?
Still no signal from Hendrix Comlink.
I don't hear anything. I don't feel anything.
The standards in this establishment seem to have declined. They'll let anyone in here.
Mike? Oh my God, Mike! I thought you were dead. When I saw you lying there. You set all this up. Donner.
What did you say?
She helped you. She admitted as much.
She gave me the information that you wouldn't. And I gave it to the newspapers. The ones courageous enough to publish it. There aren't many left.
faked your death.
And you faked our friendship.
No.
I was very cold. Waiting for you to arrive. But there was no other way. Needed to throw the hounds off. And for you to take my warning seriously, which you didn't. I've certainly waited around here longer than I should have.
You used me. You used my grief to break up Elsinger's experiment.
We all get used, kid. And used up. The best we can hope for is that it's meant for a good purpose. So, take good care of Donner. Or I'll come looking for you.
Final case log. Prager reporting. Since Schraft effectively closed his arch, no further progress has been made in decoding his data. I understand that case manager Rollins' team will continue to follow up at the event site. As for me, Frank, if you want my resignation, I'll be on your desk in the morning. Prager out.
I was about to make my recommendation to the board. Now I have my short list. Hendricks is missing, presumed dead. Donner has resigned. Are you going to join her and your friend Prager in some misguided display of solidarity? Or would you like to be case manager?
We all have our own ways of looking at the world. We rely on our senses of sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste to explain our surroundings and our interactions with other living beings. So, is there one universal reality? Or are we isolated individuals living in self-constructed realities? For Psi Factor, I'm Dan Aykroyd.